Extra, extra, hear all about it. Michael Savage of California has to go all the way to Texas to get representation in a representative democracy. And joining us now is the great Congressman John Culberson, my hero. Congressman, thank you for being on the Savage Nation, and thanks for sending that letter to Hillary Clinton today.
Well, Michael, I'm glad to be with you, and I am glad to help. After all, you're living in San Francisco. You're a conservative. You believe in the Constitution, and, hey, you know, what kind of representation are you going to get out of San Francisco? So we're proud to have you as an honorary Texan, Michael, and I'm glad to help you, my friend. You deserve it. It's the right thing to do, and my rule always has been you do the right thing for the right reasons, and good things happen.
Senator, Congressman Culberson, what is the likelihood of Secretary Hillary realizing that this would be to her own advantage to act on my behalf? In a sense, I never belonged on a list to begin with. The British have admitted the list is foolish. Wouldn't it position her as a more centrist individual, and do you think she will therefore act on my behalf for her own interests?
Michael, I think so, because it is the right thing to do. You have been wrong. You are, like, as any other American, you have the absolute right to travel to England or any other nation, just as any other law-abiding American would. Certainly your First Amendment rights as an American, your freedom of speech has been curtailed. You have business interests in London, and as you know, Michael, I am handling this not only as in my official capacity. I'm helping you with the State Department, but I'm handling, my office, Michael, is handling this as constituent casework. We are pursuing your case to get a visa issued to Michael Savage to travel to England at any time for any reason. And I think that anyone looking at this sees the obvious injustice of denying a law-abiding American the right to travel to England. But, Michael, above and beyond that, I find it deeply offensive that they put you on a list with terrorists and criminals and murderers. It's outrageous, it's offensive, and it really demeans England. It diminishes that great country for them to attack you in this way, to list you with these people. And frankly, it's the right thing to do, and we need you speaking out loud and clear. This is a decisive moment for America, Michael, and you're a warrior to protect our borders, our language, our culture, and our Constitution, my friend. And I'm proud.
You know, Congressman, we've never met, have we? But over 58,000 people have signed the petition to defend me on my website. Thousands have donated to the Legal Defense Fund. But you are, my friend, the first member of Congress to have intervened on my behalf. Now, I realize the issue is way beyond me. It's freedom of speech, freedom of travel, by the way. Freedom of travel is very important here. What I'm bewildered by is how the American media itself doesn't understand the ramifications of this particular case and how they refuse to talk about it.
What they do to you in England, Michael, they can do to anyone in the media. Anyone who speaks up and out is threatened by what England has done to you. So we all have an interest in protecting your right to speak, no matter whether you agree or disagree with your position. I enjoy your show. I'm a fan. Listen to the Savage Nation regularly. And I just have been outraged by the way the British government treated you and just stepped up to help you. I am sure we'll get a bunch of colleagues on board to help with this, Michael, because it's the right thing to do. We truly, Michael, are at a decisive moment, as you have said many times on the show, which is why I like to listen to you. You speak common sense from the heart. You speak about and defend American values that made us great, and we will either become a bankrupt Argentina, third world nation whose debt won't be bought by anybody else with a worthless dollar, or we will return to what made America great, our core principles, our Constitution, and put the federal government back in their box and defend our language, our borders, and our culture that made America what it is, and welcome any and everyone from all over the world. Come and join us, but you will learn English, and you'll become an American, and you work hard like our forefathers did. And, Michael, you embody that. You speak for all of us who are fed up with a federal government that's out of control, and this liberal Congress, your congresswoman, and this president are going to drive America over a financial cliff. And, Michael, we need you out there speaking up for the Constitution and our freedoms. And in Texas, that's what it's all about. Our most important right in Texas for all Americans, leave me alone. That's your most important right.
I must have been, my grandfather, who's no longer with us, who came here from Russia, must have landed in the wrong state, because he should have landed in Texas rather than New York. I am absolutely spiritually a Texan through and through. I think I've just been living in the wrong state all these years.
Well, we'll have you as an honorary Texan out there in the frontiers in San Francisco, which is we call it the left coast, in Texas. And I just think.
Well, you've got some great coast in Texas, where at least I can do some boating. I mean, what's the best city to live in Texas if you're a boating lover?
Well, frankly, the best city in Texas is Houston, because you're right next to Galveston Bay in Houston, a magnificent city with wonderful people that are hospitable, that are conservative, that have common sense and love the Constitution and freedom. We have very few labor unions, Michael. We have no personal income tax. So you come to Texas, no state personal income tax, very few lawyers, and in unions, Michael, we'd love to have you. And Galveston Bay is fabulous for sailing.
Well, you know what? I'm going to put that on my list because I'm in the wrong state. I increasingly come to realize that we're living in a country with a representative democracy, and yet here I'm a member of the state of California, citizen of the state of California in the U.S. I do not have one member of Congress who I can turn to in the entire state. It doesn't matter that the state is somewhat liberal. Shouldn't it be common sense that there should be representation for all members and all citizens of a state?
Well, no question. You've got some good conservatives there in California. In your valley, I often hear that you have almost 2 states in California. You've got a lot of good conservatives out there in the California delegation. Elton Gallagher, you've got a lot of good guys out there. But, Michael, I'm proud to help you in Texas. I just happen to be the first guy to contact you. There's others out there. I know we'll have other colleagues help. There's a lot of fine conservative members of Congress that honor the Constitution. They want to protect this great nation and put the federal government back in their box and get the government out of our lives and out of our...
Congressman Culberson, when are you running again in your district? I'm very curious about that.
Every other year. Congressmen are up for election every other year. I'm up for re-election, Michael, next year, but... Can my listeners send donations to your campaign, even if they're not citizens of let's say, residents of your district? Well, Michael, you're very gracious, but I'm truly doing this really because it's the right thing to do.
No, I know that. I mean, I'm sorry to I don't know what to do to say thank you. I mean, I know that money is the mother's milk of politics, but so is honesty. You're the most honest member of Congress I've ever encountered. You're the kind of guy that won World War II. You're the kind of guy that if you were my platoon leader and you said charge into a machine gun nest, I would do what you told me to do. I'd be proud to fight alongside you any day of the week, but I'd like to be able to do something for you. I don't want to just be passive about accepting your kindness.
You're very gracious, Michael. You do it every day by being a warrior for freedom and standing up for our rights as Americans to get the government out of our lives, out of our pockets, and out of our way, and protect us from, Michael, this overreaching federal government. You're a warrior, my friend, and I'm proud to help you. This is literally a decisive moment. We will look back 20 and 30 years from now and look at each other and say, what did you do to preserve America when we will either become Argentina and bankrupt and in a socialist nation where the government controls us from the cradle to the grave, Michael, as you've said.
Even the Chinese government is questioning Obama's and Pelosi's health care plan. Basically, the Chinese are saying it's unsupportable. What are you doing?
Yeah, the Chinese want to make sure they get paid back. They're no dummies. They want to get their money back on all those treasury bonds they've been buying, Michael. And it's vital that we stand behind warriors for freedom like you are, Michael. And I'm proud to help you. And there's a lot of guys in Congress that'll step up and join us. We're proud to have you as an honorary Texan. You are going to need to get a concealed carry permit, Michael, because a law-abiding, God-fearing Texan, is. My constituents believe strongly in the Second Amendment right to protect yourself. We believe in limited government. We don't need labor unions. We don't need many lawyers. We want the government out of our lives, out of our pockets. Michael, you should be a Texan, and we're proud to have you as honorary Texan. I'm proud to help you, Michael. It's the right thing to do, Michael. If I do the right thing for the right reasons, good things happen every time. And Texans stand behind you, my friend. Every American across this country that honors the Constitution and freedom and cares about this decisive moment in history where Obama will either bankrupt us and we'll become a socialist nation like France, controlling us from the cradle to the grave, or we're going to become America that we know and love and are proud of, Michael.
Amen.
And I'm not going to sit by and let it happen, and you're not either, and I'm proud to help you.
Well, Congressman Culberson, I hope that we meet in the near future, and anything I can and will do on your behalf, I will. And I know you did this simply for the value of the reality of doing the right thing. I know there was never a quid pro quo. We've never met, nor have we ever agreed upon anything in return. All I can say is I'm humbled by your Americanism and your willingness to intervene on my behalf. It's been a long, long struggle, virtually all alone. And Congressman Culberson, I want to thank you again.
It's my privilege, Michael, and we'll keep you posted on the progress, and I'll be bird dogging this personally with the Department of State, and we'll get you your visa and free you from this this travel ban, Michael. And thank you for being a warrior for the American Constitution and to protect our sacred freedoms from this out-of-control Obama-Pelosi federal government.
God bless you, John Culberson, member of Congress, and thank you for being on the Savage Nation.